Don't give up on hope, said Dame Vera on the 75th anniversary of VE Day. And I guess at the age of 103, she kind of knows a thing or two about hope. Yeah, wow. I mean, what an age to live to. We've got a lady in the church who's 96, and I tell you, she's full of hope. Every time I go to see her, and I haven't been able to do it now for months, but every time I go to see her, I come away filled with hope and joy, because she just does that. You go to visit her to lift her, but she lifts your spirits. There's something about people of that generation that have something really special in them. People, of course, are hoping for better news of the future today. We're waiting to hear the PM at 7 p.m. this evening, whatever he's going to say. And people are hoping, I've got friends who are really hoping that they can take up sport again, whether it's football, go to matches or golf or whatever, or at least watch them on television. They're keen. But in many senses, it's a bit of a shallow hope, because we know that, like us, Prime Minister's not in control of the virus. Let me read you a verse from Isaiah 40 and verse 31. You have to excuse me. I have a little bit of a cold that I picked up. Yeah, it's not the virus. I'm full of catarrh, etc. So here we go. Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Hope here is a synonym for faith in God. And this verse was written to people who were for a long time in difficult and dark circumstances. We've been in this for 7 weeks, but these people were in for a long time. They were held captivity by a foreign power. They were held, many of them, out of their own country, as slaves, as servants to a foreign government, a foreign power, and they longed for their own home. They longed to be able to return to some kind of normality. Many today, I guess, feel captive. We feel that our lives are on hold. We feel that our futures are uncertain. And the events of the last few months have led us to there. Led us to, many people had certainty. Many people had got their plans for this year, for holidays, for study. I know many people in our own church whose studies have been affected, whose work life has been affected, people that can't travel anymore for their work or other activities. So many things have been put on hold, and the future, whatever happens today, whatever's unlocked, we know is uncertain, because nobody knows what the outcome of things will be. Nobody knows how long this will go on. Nobody knows even if there'll be a vaccine. We hope for that, we believe for that, but we all know that that's a slightly uncertain hope. But our hope and our faith as Christians is in God. And our hope and our faith, my hope and my faith, is that God will steer us through and enable us to act as we should and to move forward, that God will give us the strength to move forward, that God will enable us to move forward in our life, no matter what happens. For us, it's God that we hope in, the God of all creation, the one who knew us before we were even conceived, the one who planned for us, the one who planned for our salvation and sent Christ into this world. And in him our hope is certain. That's who we trust, one who knows the end from the beginning, one who knew us before, I say, we were even thought of. That's the one in whom we put our hope. That's the one in whom the Bible was talking about, that we trust in and we put our hope in. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. In him, we can find a renewal of energy and strength. Now, I know that many are feeling weary. I talk to people I talk to, and I know a number are feeling weary. A number are feeling tired about the situation. Things gradually are getting them down. The first few weeks, well, that's okay. And then you begin to think about the things. The bills begin to pile up. The issues begin to mount. The children that you've been homeschooling for days and weeks, like you're pulling your hair out, what else can we do with them? You know, and they're beginning to think, oh, I really miss those teachers at school that really looked after me and really knew how to teach me. People are getting tired, perhaps, in this time. But I want you to look to him. I want you to trust in God. And let that trust in him, let him be the bedrock of your life. Hope, I said, is a synonym for faith. So put your trust in God. Put your trust really where it can work. Put your trust and your hope in God. And let that be the bedrock from which you spring forward. You know, I can't jump very high these days, not like when I was a kid. But one thing I do know, if I jump from a solid surface, I'm going to get higher than if I jump on loose sand. Yeah. And so let God be that bedrock that you trust in. The changes of the last few months will no doubt have a lasting impact on many of us and on the whole world. But let one of those changes be to realise that we're not able to control the world around us. We're not able to control these things. As strong as we are ultimately weak. And we've seen that. And we've perhaps experienced that. And that can be a scary thing. Yet, the Apostle Paul wrote in 2 Corinthians 12:10, "For when I am weak, then I am strong." Why? Because when he realised his weakness, it made room for God. He suddenly thought, God, I really need you. I need you. Last year we had a problem in one of the rooms, the smallest room in our house. The light failed and I thought, oh, I can replace that. I'll buy another light fitting because the light fitting's gone and I'll replace it. Well, months went and I tried to fix it and it didn't work. Eventually, just before lockdown, I called in an electrician. Not only had I identified the problem incorrectly, didn't need to go out and buy a new light, but also he was able to fix it literally in minutes. You know, probably my conversation with him on the phone took longer than it took him to identify the problem and to fix it. And so it's not weakness to realise when we need help and when we need strength. And it's actually strength to turn to God and say, Lord, I need you. In my weakness, I need you. Come, I need you to rely on. I need you for the future. I need you to be able to walk forward and to move forward in life. So don't give up on hope, but put your hope in the Lord and go again. I'll leave you with a verse before we have another song. And the song is, Lord, I Need You. So let me read you this verse from Hebrews 10, verse 23. Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful.